If not, as always, hope it gets better for you. So welcome to another Friday Night Live Q&A. And we're going in vertical mode tonight. As much as I kind of thought about going into horizontal mode, because we are in a new backdrop. So usually we are in Lady LRB's plant room. Today we have the paludarium. So if you guys haven't seen the latest video where I did the build for this paludarium, let me move this over. I've got it all out there, and it's just beginning. So like with my aquariums, we're doing the same thing with the paludarium, where we're kind of started off slow, let it grow out, let it become, before you just throw everything in it. Because if you just build it as it goes by through time, it usually comes back a lot better in the long run than if you just crowd it from the beginning. So, oh, I did not get my mic on, but Tampa Tom says audio is good. So that is good. Good to see you guys in here. Happy holidays to all you guys. Hope you guys had a awesome Christmas. I've been blessed to spend it with the family, and we've been having a good time together. Let me go ahead and get it in top chat too, or all messages in top chat. So YouTube always sets me in top chat. Hello. Good to see all you guys in here. And the main purpose for all this is to do a Q&A, to be here to help you guys answer questions about keeping your aquariums and just be a source for learning, you know. Because there's a lot of ways to keep aquariums. I've said it once, so I'll say it so many more times. Is to figure out all those different ways, especially now I feel like the different ways of aquarium keeping has expanded way beyond like 55 gallons and Oscars back in the 80s. And of course, the deeper you go into the rabbit hole, there's all kinds of levels of being a fish keeper as well. The more you're in, it's like any hobby. Connor says, hello, excited for the maculosis. That's awesome. Connor, absolutely love those maculosis. Chris Swanson says, can Plecos crossbreed? You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I think if they're like in the same family or genre, then they can. Or I'm not sure how that all works as far as like what can cross with what cannot. But in my opinion, better start when it comes to breeding those. I mean, I've seen it happen in China already, to where they're actually hybridizing fish that just should not be crossed. And there's so many natural fish out there that it's just not needed to be hybridizing certain fish, in my opinion. So, you know, it's hard to like tell people they shouldn't do things, but like crossing Plecos, I think that's like one of those lines. Connor says, so when do you ship normally? So we normally ship Wednesday, and thank you for everybody for their patience who has ordered. We've actually had to wait due to the holidays because post office is not open on Christmas and then on New Year's Day. It's been taking a little time to get things out. But thank you all for the support and orders. It's just nothing we can really do about that. And it's just safety of the fish. I can't just send fish out and hoping for the best. Like, I want to know that they're on the right kind of schedule. 3G says, is it me or is signal weak? I don't know. That's a good question. Is it getting blurry? Keeps buffering? What? No, I'm not on Wi-Fi here, so I don't know, guys. Well, that kind of bites. I'm like right in the middle of the living room, not too far off where I usually live stream. So, dang. It could be a male and female, more than likely. So I would try to get them a cave, and hopefully you get some eggs out of them. Now remember, when it comes to breeding plecos, it's good to have a cave that's tighter than wider, because the male will want to get into the cave and then it wants to be able to keep things out. So if it feels like it's got a nice tight grip where it can take its fins and expand them onto the sides of the inside of the cave or tube, then that gives in. Because you have mentioned mainly test TDS, do you keep all your tanks at the same TDS? So for the most part they are, because it's just what my well water is. Actually, I haven't tested it in a long time. As long as I know my base and it's working for me. And I really don't do much more with the water. Tampa Tom says, can I get some guppies next month? Should have grabbed them when I seen them. Yeah, just hit me up. We'll talk about them. Method of dirted aquariums. Actually, Dustin's fish tanks, he was like the king of dirted aquariums. So if you really want information on dirted aquariums, I would recommend him. I personally have never used potting soil. I just use dirt out of my backyard. It's a lot easier. It's full of more nutrients, and I don't have to worry about ammonias, manures, and stuff like that. A little bit blurry. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. Well, I don't know how long we'll do this since I don't have a good connection. Freaking Lego Lucas, it's back. It's back. Which makes no sense at all to why. Because we're literally like 15 feet from where I normally live stream. Brent J says, if you answered me, I must answer. Live was froze. Well, dang. An underground filter with fine sand and geotextile fabric. That's not a bad idea. I don't know really what all it's going to do. I don't know if mulm and detritus would be able to settle in that with the geotextile fabric on top of it. But Brent J, what I was talking about with the plecos was if it's a male, it's going to be smaller, it's going to be bigger. And that they're probably in the breed mode. So you need to get them a cave or a tube or a pipe. And then that way they can breed out. Let's see, podcast with says, hello. I saw sponge buried under sand. Explain why I did that. Yeah, so the reason why I did that was you get a 10-gallon with a sponge filter, and it's like, it's bright blue, and it's just gaudy to look at. Like, it just did not look good. So to save on substrate, figured I'd just fill that space up with the sponge filter. That way I could hide it. Because essentially all that sponge filter is doing is holding beneficial bacteria, which helps clean your water. It's not doing anything much more from that. Because even as the bubbles run through it, they're not even doing anything really. So it can do that while it was buried. And it was more aesthetic. Fish Stream says, will pistos breed in a coconut cave, or do they need a ceramic cave? I feel safe in it. Let me see if I could, let me see if I can go ahead and go into the other room here. Go in Lady LRB's plant room. I was going to do it behind this. I don't know if we can even see that very well. Yeah, let's sit here. Let me go get my light. Maybe the internet will do us more justice here. Well, that sucks because I really want that paludarium. I would like it doesn't make any sense. I would like to be able to do a live there every Friday. That way we can see how it grows out like week to week and have that as the backdrop. Actually just hung these this week too. Been getting a lot of little things done. If you guys remember from my old house, all that fish art I had, I've been hoarding it in a closet for quite some time. In fact, I got it taken out. What? Better? Jeez. Well, at least we got a... Well... Alright, let's see. Questions. Lucas, did you mention the Plecos being male or female? I did. Oh, that's all you heard. Okay. Ish Lopez says, I mainly check with test strips for nitrates and ammonia. So yeah, I actually used to just dose my tanks with nitrates, so I quit ever worrying about those. The ammonia too, when you have an established planted aquarium, it's a lot different. Now, when you have a sterile aquarium, the worry about nitrates and ammonia is more because you don't have the microbiology and beneficial bacteria to offset or eat those nitrates. But in the tanks that I have, I don't even have to worry about any of that stuff. Oh, those are the babies, those smaller plecos. Yeah, I don't know how big they can be for breeding. I don't know, maybe they're really hungry. Try feeding them more. Could just be hangry. Well, fish get hangry too. Tim Toss, Java versus Christmas. Do you have a preference? So Java grows a lot quicker. It's more stringy. Christmas is more compact and grows a little slower. If you want to grow your moss out well, you gotta have steady regimen of water changes. So if not, it loves to get hair algae in it. Oh, I'd appreciate that, fish streams. And happy early birthday to your granddaughter. Wesley's birthday is actually coming up. Ish Lopez says, my tank has city water that is pretty much where it needs to be parameter-wise for my guppies. I do have a TDS reader and check today, my 7-gallon is at 560 TDS and 2 months old is at 350. So if you're just doing like top-offs, if you're already over the 200 mark on TDS, then if you're just doing top-offs, it will just keep adding that alkalinity in, those minerals, the bicarbonates, all that stuff into your aquarium, which build up over, and that's why it'll give you a higher number. Now, if you're under 200 TDS, you're towards the acidic side. So then, even if you are topping off, it doesn't build up as fast unless you start getting way over the 200 mark. And that's why it'll add up. And the way to offset that is just do a little water change. Well, thank you, Fong. I appreciate that. Prince 2254 says, buy guppy grass. Lucas sent me an inch piece with shrimp. And I've got 3 overgrown tanks now, including a 29-gallon, and I throw clumps in the trash. Yeah, that guppy grass grows crazy. And thanks for mentioning the people. I do got guppy grass for sale, along with a bunch of other things on my website, LRBAquatics.com. So grow everything in-house. We don't import. And I've been doing this for years, probably like a decade on YouTube. And if you guys are looking for something a little different or just want some guppy grass, check it out. It would be helpful. I'm trying to get to the next phase, which is getting better water in the fish room. Currently, right now, the well water that goes into the fish room, which I did a video of what it looked like when I first moved here, and it was like terrible. It'd come out orange, just rusty, nasty, ugh. And like it's so bad with the iron that you could literally smell the metal, the iron in the water. And it kind of inhibits me with doing too much water changes, because if you guys have ever had on either of this crates like this, more orangish, and there's also a bit of sulfur, but luckily I can't smell the sulfur. I can only know that because I've seen it oxidize. Excuse me, and also from digging in the yard I have found sulfur. So it has to run through all that. So next step is to get the pumps fixed for the water change system, and then hopefully a deep well soon. So that's what I'm working on. If you guys want to help support me, LRBAquatics.com. Cody Moody says, what's your tips on breeding Gardeneri killifish? So some people just spawn them within groups, and if you have a planted enough aquarium, you can community breed them to the point where like you'll just see a couple spawn, but it does help to be under for the eggs, and then just making them comfortable. Or if you're wanting to target breed them instead of just getting a couple fry here and there, spawning mops are always the best way to go for those Gardeneri. Then you can collect the mops and do with the eggs what you want. But you could either peat those, but it's just as easy to actually leave those in aquariums too. Tampa Tom, my guy, thank you so much for that $20 super chat. Really appreciate that. It says, that's Florida well water to the next phase. Dude, cheers. Really appreciate that. Yes, I can't wait to get over that phase, because that one's been haunting me for years now on YouTube and just everything I do within my fish. Clean water like we have in here out into the barn would just, oh, it would make all the difference for me in the fish room and the channel and everything. So thank you. Kitty, what are you eating over there? Are you drinking out of Wesley's water? What are you doing? Oh, this cat. What are you doing, Kitty? Matt Flash says, I've had hard tap water. What's the best to top off with? Top water or rainwater? If you could top off with distilled water, RO water, rainwater, that's better than if you keep adding the mineralization to it. And it all depends on, let it build up. It doesn't matter. If you've got fish that are more, I don't want to say sensitive to hard water, because most fish do all right with hard water. There's not many that don't. I don't know, you definitely for the plants. Let me put it this way. For the plants, most plants do not like the hard water as much because it creates scaling, which can cover up like their natural biofilm that they have around their plant tissue. So for planted aquariums, better to have that softer water when topping off. Yeah, glad you can make a comic book, G-Man. Cast beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's hard to pick favorites for me. I can never pick favorites. Like, look at all these fish. It would be like, look at all these fish. Tell me what your favorite is. Like, it would just be too hard. There'd be so many. But I would say, you know, rodents grow really good. I mean, I'm not a plant expert, so I can't tell you all the names. Matter of fact, I wish I knew more about them. I hear the names all the time, but I can't ever remember. But I did remember what a philodendron is, or a philodendron is. Where's Lady LRB when you need them? Oh, there's Lady LRB. Yeah, she's got some wild looking plants. There's some, it's crazy. I actually used to have this catalog of all these plants that were from the 70s. And just how the market is so different from then and now. Like some of these plants probably. Mac Markowitz says, any experience in breeding cherry barbs? So I have, and I haven't gotten like mass numbers, but they're a lot kind of like breeding a CPD, as in you need like that egg catcher. And you could either use rocks, marbles. There's this guy named Lowell's Labs that has started making this like egg catcher that seems pretty cool. A lot of people have been talking about, and I don't have a problem with promoting it because he seems like a cool guy himself, and like what he does. Honestly, I should actually try one of those catchers soon. They just lay a few eggs into like a pile of rocks, and then the hardest part's collecting them. In which you could either get like a container with some rocks and just move it to another aquarium after they lay the eggs, or you suspect they laid the eggs, and then they should just hatch out. I think it only takes like a day or two for the eggs to actually hatch. But they're not too hard to breed out, not too picky. You can have like medium heat, like mid 70s. Softer, hard water, doesn't matter. I actually used to breed for like the really red color. But then like not very. So I don't know. I think I still have a few hanging on in a tank somewhere with my geophagus. Billy Villasys, good seeing you here. Says, I made it late due to installing handrail. LOL, what's good, people? You know, we're here. That's what's good. We're live. We're here. We're doing it. Crab Stream says he was answering my question. Oh, for real? Oh, no. Lady LRB saw it. Yeah. Sorry, bro. Yeah, unfortunately, the equality. Hopefully, let me know what it is. Like, is it still buffering and looking bad on this end? It must just be the internet today. Maybe they're like doing something with the 5G. Have I ever considered getting poison dart frogs and really think you would love breeding them? I actually have. I've thought about that many a times. I don't know if I would though, because then it's like another like element towards what all I've got going on. Internet isn't great. Yeah, that sucks. Maybe we'll end it here at the 30-minute mark, because Casval says, my parents have Starlink and it's really good. Something we're considering. Yeah, a lot of people have mentioned that. And when it comes to like live streaming, the amount of data it actually takes to live stream, I don't think Starlink really does very well with. From like the data, as far as like megabytes per second, like upload rate and all that, like the numbers don't make sense. But it is what it is. I don't know. Aquarium Fantasy says you have Starlink. Yeah, but have you ever tried to live stream? Like, getting online is a lot different than like doing a live stream. The amount of data it actually takes. Trust me, back in the old house, we used to have Giga Internet, so we was kind of spoiled with that. But even still, with all the aquarium, hard to get it out. Or maybe I'm just shadow banned and they're like, oh, this guy, we don't want him to have good quality. Well, let's make him look like a potato. Or Lego Lucas. If anybody knows in the chat, I can help out AZBC. That one is beyond experience. I haven't done much with soil plants and with my Shelleys, but I can imagine most of them would. If they're just floating like, I don't know. I don't worry, like all these plants that we put in our paludarium, I don't worry about like what they're gonna do to my fish, because not usual that anything would happen with them from just a plant. Christopher Gonzalez says, what do you suggest as a alternative for a whole house water softener system? Is it better than buying a RODI system? I ended up getting like 3,000 gallon a day one. That was crazy. And it cost me probably like $3,000. I think it was like somewhere around $3,000 then. Maybe a little over. Because it usually goes like $1 a gallon per hour. So if you get like a 300 gallon per hour, usually about 300 bucks. At least that's what it used to be. I don't know about now. But that's about the best way to actually soften the water compared to running it through a water softener and having imbalances. But I did a whole fish room with hundreds of aquariums with that RO, and it would run like water. It was absolutely awesome. Ran like the tap. Billy Villas says, what are the odds of annex in Canada? I think that would be awesome. Yeah, if it opened up Canada, I could finally ship to all my Canadian friends that have been wanting me to ship up there for so long. I don't know. I think it would be cool. Less borders, less hassle. Why not? I mean, Canadians are nothing but like real Northern Americans. Matt Flash says, got a Lego fish tank for my birthday, so I put a tank in a tank. It's awesome. That is cool. That's cool. I like that. Oh, no. Sorry to hear that, Billy. Well, yeah, no, I think it's my internet for some reason. Like, they do not want me to live stream tonight. Doesn't make sense. It's where we always live stream. I guess it is what it is. I'm not going to make you guys, like, gruel through this. It's unfortunate, but we'll be back on. Hop on here sometime between this week, maybe this weekend. And, oh, KG Tropicals has Starlink. Maybe I'll talk to him about it. Because if he's live streaming and using just Starlink, like, okay, I could get down with that. Because he's got really good quality live streams, so. I don't know. Maybe technology just has something against me. Because it's actually been doing this to me for a long time. And we've tried so many ways. For those who have been following my channel, it's kind of wild how long it's been like that for, so. Shine On says it's not too bad for him. I don't know. Lucas says what? Or Ish Lopez says, Lucas, what is the TDS rating on your tanks? So my water comes out about 170. So my tanks stay around there. Christopher Gonzalez says, what was the name of the water softening system you suggested? It was the RODI is what I mentioned, and I got it from Aqua FX. What's the best way to DM? Probably be email. All right, well, I'm gonna hop off here since internet's not doing that good. That's unfortunate, and hopefully we can get it better later. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Hopefully we learned some things. As grueling as it may have been on your side, I don't know. Looks good on my side, but it is what it is. What can I do? Like, I'm just trying to roll with the punches in life as it is. I wish the internet would give me a break one of these days. But, all right, I appreciate you guys. Have a great New Year coming up. Hopefully I see you guys before the New Year. And if I don't, have a New Year. And until next time, everybody, peace. Have a great one. Da 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 da.